2008, one of the biggest recession of the nobody responded. That's how I got into real estate. And then, hello everyone, my name is Piper Puranik, and today I'm going to tell you a story of how I got into real estate. This was about 2007 and 8, let's just say 2008. And I don't know if you remember, but in 2008, one of the biggest recession after Great Depression had started. Many banks were failing, many bear stearns went away. Like the big, there was a mayhem going on in the market. There were layoffs going on everywhere, foreclosures going on everywhere, right? And in around end of 2007, before all of this started, I had bought a condo at a 6% interest in the west side of LA. And I moved into the condo, and thankfully I had a job, so I had nothing to worry about. And things were going on. But when I moved into the condo, it was a small building of just 7 condos. That's it, 7 condos. And the HOA board needed 3 volunteers. And people were not ready because, they were grappling with issues, right, in their careers, and it was just not a happy time, and nobody was willing to volunteer. So, but I knew that if that happens and the building remains neglected, then it would be another issue for us, right? So I stepped in. I said, I will volunteer for the board, HOA board, and a couple of other people stepped in, and the new HOA board got formed. And in this HOA board, we did our first meeting. And the first meeting itself, we're looking at the accounts, and we're seeing that my neighbor, which is Unit 1, had not paid HOA bills for months. And if I remember correctly, my HOA was $450 back then per month. And this person owed us thousands of dollars, right? And that's because he had not paid us money for 8, 9, 10 months or something at that point. This is late 2008. So we're like, well, we need to talk to him, right? We need to get our money back because the situation, the finances of HOA were in a tight spot, right? We needed to pay bills. The elevator needed to be serviced. Like there were things to be done, right? So what we did is they all said, well, he's your neighbor, right? You're on the first floor or the second floor, you're together. So why didn't you talk to him? I said, okay, makes sense. Okay, so in that very evening, I went and knocked on his door. Nobody responded. It was a weekend. So I thought, they might be out. So I tried it again on Monday. Nobody responded. I tried again on Tuesday. Nobody responded. I tried again on Wednesday at a different time. No one responded. Now I got suspicious. So I tried to move the handle of the door, right? I don't know why, but I tried that. And the door actually opened. And then what I saw, I was surprised because there was nothing inside that condo. There was nothing. The person that was there had clearly moved out of the condo. And just to give you context, right, in those days that was happening because they couldn't pay mortgage for a while. So people would simply mail the keys to the bank and just move out, right? So I realized that, okay, it must be one of those things. He probably can't pay mortgage and can't pay HOA as well. So he has moved out. It was one person actually, I remember him. He was a man and in his 30s, and he had moved out. So now I'm thinking, what do I do? Like, I have no idea where he's gone. He could have been gone anywhere in the country, right? How do I even contact him? Like, how do I get, like, what's the next step here? So I went to the board, and the board said, well, we've got to consult with someone, right? Maybe a lawyer. How do we get our money back from this? So in those days, the best way to find a lawyer was Google. So I Googled and found a lawyer, real estate lawyer. And this real estate lawyer, I went to talk to him, and he said that, all right, your strategy is simple. What you need to do is put a lien on that house or condo. And once your lien is in place, the bank will probably take an year to take possession, the charge of that condo, because they're backlog right now. There are too many foreclosures going on. Within that year, you can rent it out and make money from it and pay the HOA dues from that money. I said, that's interesting. So I went back to the board and I said, this is what the lawyer is saying. And they said, sounds good. Vaibhav, you go and do it. I said, I don't have any experience in renting a unit out. So they said, well, neither do us. It'll be easier for you because you're on the same floor. I just accepted it because there was no other way. And we badly needed money, right? So I had needed to do my part to actually get that money. So then, again, I Googled, well, how do you rent a unit, right? And I was in the west side of Los Angeles, so there was a popular website called West Side Rentals. So I went there, and they had all these steps written on there. They said, like, okay, we'll help you. You can sign up here, and we will charge the tenants, and you don't need to sign up. You don't need to pay any money. Upload the pictures here, put the description, and we will put it on our website, and then somebody will come. You show them unit, and if they like it, here is the lease form, fill that lease form. So they had the entire process laid out. So I just started following the process. So I took the pictures, I put a nice description of the unit, and the unit was ready, by the way, okay? This person had cleaned it, so it was like perfect. We didn't have to do anything, no work needed inside. So upload the pictures. At that time, in 2007 and 8, we were still using cameras, right? The phone cameras weren't that great yet, correct? So I actually had to use my digital camera to take photos. Uploaded the pictures. It went online on West Side Rentals, and I started getting calls. So in the evening, I would call them, and I was at home, right, after the office. I would just show them the unit because it was right next to my door. And then one very friendly, wonderful couple decided to lease the unit. So I gave them like West Side Rentals form. I told them, and at the same time I warned them that, look, I told them about this whole situation, and I told them that I can only give you month to month. You'll probably get in a year for sure, but it's a month-to-month lease. If the bank takes possession of this unit, you need to move out. And they agreed to it. So fine, they moved in. Everything was fine. Rent started coming in every month. They were paying rent on time. And our HOA finances seems to come back on track. Now a year passes, and something interesting happens. A letter comes from Bank of America. So it's complicated. There was Countrywide mortgage, his mortgage was, and Bank of America had taken over Countrywide at that point. So a letter came and said, we are going to take charge of this condo. And there was a specific date written on it. And the date was like good 45, 50, 60 days away. So I went to the couple and said, we got the letter from the bank, 1 year has passed, right? You need to move out now. And the couple said, let me talk to you later. She needed to talk to her husband. And she came back later and said to me that she won't move out. And I was like taken aback. I'm like, what? Why would you not move out? And she's like, well, I don't have to move out. Let the bank evict me. And their idea was essentially to live for free, because the bank would have taken 2-3 months to evict, right? And during that period, because the bank has already taken possession of the unit, they don't need to pay rent to us, right? So they could have lived there free for good 3 months, because in California evictions were taking time at that point. I tried to reason out with them. Look, once the eviction goes on your record, other people won't rent your unit, and they would not. This is after Googling, by the way. I had no idea about this. They wouldn't agree. They just like, we won't move out. Do whatever you want to do. But I had one thing in my back pocket that they had forgotten. So we had never transferred utilities on their name. We had always kept it on HOA's name, right? So I went to them and said, fine, we will stop paying utility bills now because the bank has taken the possession. You're not going to give rent to us, correct? For the same reason. So you need to just transfer those utilities to your name. We will call them and tell them that, look, we're not the owners of this unit. We can't do anything here, right? I mean, we're not going to pay utilities for you, right, when you're not paying rent to us. So now they realize that, okay, well, they can't even go to utility companies and ask them to transfer the utilities, because then they would have asked for valid paperwork and all that stuff. So it wasn't a mix, right? Now they realized that they can't really game the system. So then they decided to leave in a week, and we handed over the unit to the bank, and everything finished. Everything ended really well. So this was the story of my first rental. Now again, it doesn't give you still idea of like, well, first thing I learned out of all of this is that I can do this. I got confidence, right? I had no prior experience, right? But I was able to manage everything there. I was even able to fix some couple of issues that were there during this year, right? So, and it was pretty easy because it was really literally next door, right? So I said, I can do this. It's not very difficult. So in 2011, when I actually bought a single family house, I decided to do the same thing with my own condo. I rented it out because at that point, if I would have sold the condo, I wouldn't have gotten the price that I had actually even put in on it. So I decided to rent the condo, move on to my newly bought single family house, and I knew what to do here, right? So I followed the entire process again and rented my condo very easily because it was a very good location in Los Angeles. And then that gave me even further confidence, right? And I just kept doing that one after other. And that's how I got into real estate. And then so I did many single families after that, a couple of more in Los Angeles, then went to Texas, bought single families in Texas. I still own single families in Texas, multiple of them. Then I started doing multifamily syndications, and rest is history. So yeah, I mean, sometimes you don't intend to do anything, but the universe sort of pushes you in one direction, and that's what happened with me. That's why I call myself an accidental investor. Now there's a lot of interesting stuff like this. on our website, oldmoneycapital.com. Please go. There is informational articles, blog post on there. Our portfolio is there as well. And also our Instagram handle is oldmoneycapital123. Thank you very much for listening to my story.